It's great to have you be part of our show today. This is Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. I am Henry Ibubike. In a bit, we'll be going to our newspaper headlines for you to see all that we have this morning. And right after that, will be our main conversation also for today. And plus, just to let you know that we will be speaking today on the show with Chief Engineer Tony Amici, who is in Dublin for the Ireland and Nigeria Investment Partnership Conference that will be sometimes let, of course, on the show. But for now, let's get straight to our newspaper headlines. But we would equally love that you be part of our community. Have a say in what we say. You can always reach us at enterprisetv.com. You may like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. With us today in the studio to do justice to all that we have, our newspaper headlines and possibly straight up to our main conversation is Cyril Abaku, journalist and public affairs analyst, and Barrister Tunji Abdulhamid, barrister of law and the public affairs analyst. Good morning to you, gentlemen, and welcome to Enterprise Morning. Thank you so very much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so let's kickstart our day with the first daily on our desk coming from the Daily Trust newspaper. And we have on the top strip of the same newspaper, NNPP Group 6 Governor Yusuf's independence from Kwankwaso. Dangote Ipman meeting fails to hold passengers stranded as airlines cut domestic flights. On the bottom strip here, we have Naira plunges to 1,700 Naira to the dollar at parallel in market. The big story here, PDP crisis. Damogum may step down. Next week, we'll have two riders to aid here. Aggrieved the members told to withdraw court cases. And government ask factional leaders to vacate office, lift a suspension. Still from the Daily Trust on that particular story, I'd love to read an excerpt here that we have. It says the decision was reached actually by the party's governor yesterday in Akure, the Ondo State capital, and they say sources are privy to the details of the meeting, and a virtual gathering held earlier on Monday stated that the governors were rattled by the fractionalization of the party's National Working Committee, NWC, and resolved to unite for preservation of the party. Pastor Tunji Abdulhamid, you are a card-carrying member of the PDP. Bring us up to speed on what's happening with your party.
Well, I think people are aware of what is happening. The suspension, counter suspension of members of the NWC, and glory be to God, that was resolved yesterday by the governors, who are one of the major leaders of the party. They've resolved that everybody should go back to their status quo. In other words, those who have been suspended are returned back to their position. Those who have not been suspended remain there. So I think it's politics, and it's 2027 at play. People are strategizing to position themselves towards the 2027. You must position yourself. If you are a good politician, you have an ambition. So I think that is the issue. But I'm not surprised that we're having this crisis. And you notice it is not only in PDP that these crises are coming up. In almost all the opposition parties, even the ruling party, they have their own crisis. But because they are in power, it's not manifesting clearly. But what is manifesting is that those are the opposition, because certain elements are working for the people outside the party, and that's why you are seeing what you are seeing.
So when you say certain elements are working for the interest of the other party with your own party, the PDP, so do you think the PDP has been hijacked?
No, I'm not saying they've been hijacked, but to an extent, certain people who are working for their personal interests, who are working for their political interests, for political personal interests, who are working they are working with enemy within and outside because of what they think they will get thereafter. So I won't say they've not been hijacked. I won't say the party has been hijacked, because sincerely speaking, the certain people within and outside the party have a kind of control over some of the people who are supposed to play leadership role in the party. And when you have those who are supposed to play leadership role in the party compromising or aligning with people outside the party to achieve a particular interest, you may be having problems, especially if you see a member of the party, the people who call leaders, who have even before 2025 or we're in 2024 now, have expressed their position clearly that in 2027 they will support the current president from a PDP. And so you believe that certain people who are within the party are working against the party, and that's my position, because it's clearly, it's not a rumor, it's not allegation. Governor Otom said it clearly that he's going to support the president in 2027.
Is it still relevant?
Governor Minister Isan Wike said it clearly that he's going to support.
So the G5 really is it?
I will not say
the former G5.
I know a governor, part of the G5, that is interested in becoming the president as well. Maybe probably genuinely or not genuinely, is planning underneath. I'm aware of that, and I know that. Look, he may not be sincere with it. He may not be genuine with it. He may be just trying to put down the party to be able to get a opportunity for people. Like I said, I just use those analogies to justify my position that there are certain people within the party who are working against the party, and some of these people have the control of those who are leaders of the party, because those you see as a chairman, this and that, the NWC are not the leaders of the party. They are being controlled by people who put them in position of authority there. They are holding the party in trust for some stakeholders who are leaders of the party. So as far as I'm concerned, glory be to God, it's been resolved now. And then I think by next week, 24th of October, probably it will be resolved completely, because there will be a NEC meeting. And at that meeting, if a new chairman is elected, or the acting chairman, the current Mr. Damagu is just an acting chairman, just because of the vacancy created by the exit of the former chairman. So until the new one is appointed in line with section 4776 of the Constitution of the PDP 2017, as soon as it's done, it will refer back to his position as deputy national chairman, and then a new chairman will come into power. Probably will have a way forward.
All right. Ogbonnia Onu once said that the PDP would rule for 60 years. All things fall apart. Do you think the PDP has what it takes to have a comeback and possibly do magic in 2027 with what is happening right now with the party?
They may have to cut their quota according to their cloth. How many governors do they have? How many are they going to add by then? Any conversation about the
13
PDP?
governors.
Okay. But any serious
APC have only 5 or 4 or so when they took over.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
So it's fine if they're able to rally around and have a master strategist. Like, politics is not always what you discuss in a straight line. I'll be saying
Nigerian politics.
Yes, especially.
Yes.
So I may be saying this I don't personally endorse, but in the manner of speaking, if they have a mobilizer who is able to, replicate the stature of Bola Tinubu in the APC, then they may be able to pull an offset.
Now, who comes to mind? Who comes to mind just before you allow you?
There are many of them. Notably, there's Bukola Saraki. I don't know how much he wants to put his foot forward, but he looks viable in terms of his exposure, his trajectory. If you look at his CV, where he's been, what he's done, he's able to have that sort of clout.
And you think he connects around the country, north, south, east, west, 6 geopolitical zones? I
believe so. Tinubu doesn't even connect that much. He just knows, or he just always knows where to put his net at every given time. So a certain Bukola Saraki does have that sort of both economic and political power and stature to do that. So that's that. Of course, Atiku Abubakar is also the de facto father figure of the party. And given that he's been the former vice president and he's been around with them for this many years, so he also could easily do that. He's well spread politically. So, but these two apart, politics. Sometimes it's something that you can easily sit back and just pontificate about. But whether you want to be involved there, put your feet in the water, I think it's for the brave of it's for the brave of heart. Even those 13 governors he's talking about now, you can tell. Look at what happened in Rivers State. Governor Fubara was left high and dry. Ikenga Ogochin was shouting that if truly we are an opposition party, why aren't all the PDP governors in Port Harcourt backing one of their own? It was the day after that Bala Muhammad,
Bauchi State,
went to Port Harcourt and was with Fubara to say, I support you, I am with you, you are a brother governor, and you have all my best wishes.
But
That was Sheyi
yes,
Makinde, yes.
exactly. But just because you talked about that, how possible, how feasible do you think this is when Nyesom Wike runs the show financially? He runs the show, network connection. He runs the show. How is it even possible that the PDP will stand by a particular individual when the person who pulls the string
No,
does
the
not?
problem is very clear. The problem is that there doesn't seem to be anybody with a seriousness of purpose to isolate Wike.
In the PDP?
Yes, if you notice, all those who are talking have been voices in wilderness. Dino Melaye, then they suspended him. Even Atiku seems to be a bit mindful. Okay? So, but there has to be somebody who is able to match Wike, madness for madness, dollar for dollar, pound for pound. Or but someone who may even be higher and strategically pulls the rock off of his feet. But if you don't have that, Bola Tinubu was one man in the AD faction that became AC. One man still became ACN. They began to, they won court cases in. There must be a clear strategy of where you're going. What I meant to say was that of those 13 governors, not all of them are PDP. Not all PDP are PDP. They're in PDP, yes, but so that's the problem. Imagine Tinubu winning in Rivers State, winning in Oyo State, winning in Enugu, in some very funny places. So it goes to tell you what the kind of politics that went down in those places that can't be explained logically. Okay, so something in my place they say the hand of a monkey has mixed up with the hand of humans, and something happened.
Now,
let me take
please,
I forget that what the purported suspension of below have been
revoked, right?
Have been said to be fake or rumor or not genuine. And you see, you are right to an extent that all that must be on for anybody to rescue power from this current governor. It's not going to be. It's not only the issue for PDP alone.
Okay.
It is not, because you remember APC came into power not because of ACN alone, led by Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but because they have a combined party coming together, about 5 or 6 of them, ACN, CPC, NPP, and New PDP, ABGA. They have to come together to be able to rescue power from the PDP. If that similar thing can happen, that is the only thing I will see hope that may likely bring a result. Because as long as I've been saying, I'll continue to say it, that as long as one Mr. Peter Obi, His Excellency, is contesting somewhere, one Mr. Kwankwaso, His Excellency, is contesting elsewhere, one Mr. Atiku Abubakar or Mr. whatever, anybody, Saraki, Bukola Saraki, Dr. Bukola Saraki, or whatever, contesting elsewhere, the APC will continue to win. They all hands must be on deck. People must come together to say, look, if truly they are fighting for the nation, not for their personal interest. Because if you don't do that, you will continue to have the number of votes, but it won't make you a winner. Just like Baba Buhari was doing for 12 years. He was getting 12 million votes. That was not enough to make him the president until there was that collaboration. So we have gotten to that level now, where there's a need for all opposition to come together and think of how to collaborate. And if I thought truly they want to rescue the country, it's not about the PDP, because as it is now, you should expect more crisis in opposition parties.
Why?
You should expect more crisis.
There's a budget for it.
That is the strategy in politics.
There's a watch for that.
People who are in APC will be put
funding
in other parties, and they will be causing crisis in those parties. In other words, challenging the steps being taken by those parties and making it more difficult for them to have one voice. It should be a plan to work. But in PDP, if the government could come together and openly show the desire to rescue the party, they will be able to get results. But as it is today now, majority of them are dancing towards the tune of one man, from Mr. Wike. Just probably because of that respect they have for him. He has tried. He has done his best for the party. But what he has done is not enough. It's not equal
to ground the party.
It's not even equal to what the party has done to him.
Yes.
Who was Mr. Wike in 1999? Where was he? He just left law school and became the chairman of the party. Who gave him the opportunity in the party, the PDP? All what he has become today, I'm not aware he has a law firm. for him to say, I made my money through my law firm,
Mm.
or I made my money through this business. I'm not aware. All what he has become today in terms of position, in terms of having the money he has gotten, is because he was given the opportunity by the PDP. So if he's doing anything to PDP in terms of paying back or whatever, he's paying back to the party. So and it's, the fact that you have done all this does not mean if the party decide not to give you that opportunity you're looking for, that you should not say, either I get it or we destroy it.
Mm.
That's not the way to go. And you see, so as long as that is happening, we may be difficult. Once the government is resolved to be on the one side, it's going to be difficult. But I know some of them, about 3 or so of them, that are close ally and they are strong supporter of a former governor of Rivers State, and who have even shown interest that they will go to wherever it's going, even though so. And that's why you have seen the problem in the PDP, because the governors who are supposed to take stand are also divided by supporting people outside the party. So as long as that is happening, but if they resort to say, look, we are now one, which as I hope so. What they said it yesterday, that the government forum is now one, PDP.
Mhm.
If they want to go, if they truly say that and they are working it, we will likely get a result. One man cannot be bigger than so many people, especially when the one man, if I was one of them, I would be insulted by the fact that one man said, all of them put together, they are not up to me. That to me should be an insult. And it should be a ground for them to say, we will show him that when people come together,
They can do
we
something.
can do something.
All right. So just before we wind up, we have less than 2 minutes to go. Let's look at what's happening on this day newspaper. The big story here. CGN laments a number of pending cases, threatens sack of non-performing judges. And on the top strip of the same newspaper, Shell's 1.3 billion naira all asset sale not in waiting room as federal government rejects renaissance bid. Ambassador Tunji Abdul Hamid is your area. The CGN laments number of pending cases, threatens sack of non-performing judges. Historically, have we seen such kind of thing happen before? Where judges, really non-performing judges, were sacked?
It's always been difficult. We have not been seeing, and that's why we are having continuity of lack of performance, because people who who have not been doing their job the way it should be done are not punished, and they have been pampered or quote, and that's why we are seeing this. So even though some of them I am aware, some of them have been sanctioned one way or the other, but sometimes those sanctions are not even enough as far as I'm concerned for the offense they have committed, or for alleged to have been committed. You see, it's one thing. I appreciate the CGN, and I share his concern, but that's not enough. It's not enough to just show concern. You must do the right thing.
And what's the
What
right
is the
thing?
right thing? You cannot blame the judges alone. Why are they not performing? Let's look at it.
Okay.
What are the caliber of people appointed as judges? Are some of them qualified to be there? Do they merit it? That is one question. Secondly, what are the infrastructure available for them to work with? You go to a court whereby even lawyers are not able to see talkers of the litigants, where lawyer will be outside and the proceeding will be going on inside.
And why?
Because the facility is not enough. Some of the courtrooms in Lagos, for instance, are like a mini dining table
In Lagos State.
for some people. Yes, but that's in Federal High Court, at the Federal High Court. The infrastructures are not there. Some of them don't even have lights to work. Some of them on their own will provide generator for them to work on their own, and they will bear the cost by their own. Some of them don't even have what's it called? They see right in their long arms. I imagine, and so, for example, in Lagos State, in a particular court may have like 50 cases in a day, and he will be required to write every time anybody is talking. And after that day, he will go back to his chambers, go and write ruling and judgments, and that will be daily routine for him. And you expect that person to not to have a backlog. It is not possible. So have we created more courtrooms? Have we employed more judges, capable judges, hands to complement the one we have on ground? We don't have enough of them. So as long as all these things are still there, we will still continue to have the backlog. Even at the Supreme Court, that the CGN is presiding over us at the end, there are so many backlog. There are so many backlog. 2012 cases have not been had.
2012.
In fact, you are lucky. I don't want to say what I don't know, but that there are so many. They are still going by years, And some of the cases are still as far back as a 2012, 2010, 2000, this and that. At the Supreme Court. So why are we having the backlog at the Supreme Court if we are talking about the judges at the other courts? So if you are going to punish people at the High Court, the Supreme Court too will have to bear will have to give us reasons why we have the backlog there. So for me, it's not enough to just say you sanction these people. You also have to look at the reasons, which I have given some of them. That as long as these things are not available, it may be an excuse for some of them not to perform.
Cyril Abak, what is your take on this? Who should be blamed for all of this? Who should be blamed?
So my thinking is that having come into office now, she shouldn't go on a blame game. We've not put her there to blame anybody yet. It is not time for blame. What she should do is to lay out her own policy framework, her vision, her philosophy, her idea of what adjudication should be. So in laying out that policy and framework, there must be solutions to what Barrister Abdulhamid is talking about now. It's not enough to just say, judges, you're doing this, you're doing. Well, before this man died, during his ministerial clearance, what's his name? James Ocholi, SAN. He said he would be the one to buy generator, to carry generator along to the court for them to hear his case. And this has been going on. She came through the ranks. So we don't need to tell her what the issues are. She was in Lagos. She was in Lagos.
At least I met him.
Where some reforms even took place. What must she do? Madam, lay out your framework, lay out your groundwork to what you want to achieve. And let's see how this thing can happen.
The executive, isn't it?
No.
Who should?
The CJN.
Okay, the CJN.
She must have a philosophy of what the judicial system should be like. Yes.
Exactly. So when she has all of that, isn't it financially driven? Who should?
No, so
that's what I'm
she
asking.
will have the money. I'm somewhat short of saying that the president and her should be on fairly good terms. She was in Lagos. He was in Lagos. She grew through the ranks. I think he happily nominated her to be. In fact, he was vacationing in Paris when he horribly joined back to Nigeria because of her to swear her in as a acting chief judge. So I think he's happy to have her as the CJN, chief justice rather. He's happy to have her as CJN.
No,
why
CJN.
not?
CJN.
CJN. Yeah, no, I was saying judge. She's not chief judge. She's chief justice. So because anybody from appeal, court of appeal and above is justice, and not judge. So she's chief justice. The president should give her everything she needs to do her work.
All right. Well, that's just
that is not to say that. Look, that's not to say that some of the judges are not guilty or liable of what the
as charged
CJN said. Some of them are not are lazy because some of them don't even know the volume of job in need before entering into it.
Okay.
They just want to enjoy the
largesse of
the 300% increase.
No, not the salary. They enjoy the what you call paraphernalia of that office. That's what they want to enjoy. But when they get there, it's very, very. I cannot do it. I can't.
Really?
If I'm anywhere and nobody is praying to and say you come it, I say no, please, you fast it. I don't want to become a judge. It's stressful. It's stressful, and compared to the finance, the money involved in terms of salary, it's stressful. What a lawyer will make in an hour is what some of them takes in a month. What a lawyer will make in an hourly basis in a day, is what some of them got in. So what I'm saying is that there are some of them too who are lazy, who are causing this delay because of their laziness.
And Barrister, you see the pressure that comes with being a judge is something that we don't even pay attention to. Political cases, post-election litigation. Then secondly, you're not we started in Crossbar, the magistrate was pushed out of her house. They threw, when Governor Ayade was doing that thing, and we're not paying judges for.
And there was a protest by judges that
the woman was, in fact, they sued her to court, another magistrate's court. She had not paid.
Because why you see a magistrate in some states who are dragging buses, and they don't have official card. And this magistrate are the most delegates because the most notorious criminal cases pass through them. So and these are the people who pass through so I'm talking about the enabling environment for them. Yes. But like I said, that will not justify the fact that some of them are not capable. Some of them are lazy. Some of them don't know what to do. Some of them because of that they're not competent, they're not qualified. They find it difficult to take decisions. without consulting after while sitting, they will go in and start consulting their friends and whatever what to do because it doesn't understand it.
How much power does the NBA chairman Mazi Afamo Sigwe? What kind of strings do you think he can pull to ensure that is it possible?
It's just to put pressure across to them. Just all these things we're saying is just to put it as a pressure to ensure that these things are put in place. It's just like Nigerians saying, "What can we do?" If the president is not doing the right thing. You know, he's the president of the NBA, so that giving the privilege. He's also probably going to be a member of the NJC or whatever. So he'll be able to put across all these things and put pressure on them to say, look, this must be done and this must happen. But like I said, the Supreme Court is also in the same category because there are so many outstanding backlogs of cases
30 years
at the Supreme Court. So so why are we having it? Is it because the CJA and other people they are not doing their job?
Barrister, cases before
are they not supposed to be to be sanctioned? If that's what it is. So I appreciate what she's saying, that justice today is justice denied. Yeah. But we must also look at other things around it.
All right, beautiful. So that's just the size of our package for this segment. I would have loved we take some more stories, but that's just the time we have on this particular segment. Thank you so very much, Cyril Abako, for being here. Pastor Tunji Abdulhamid, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
And when we return, Nigeria needs 15 years of sustained reforms for long-term growth, and that's coming from the World Bank. That in a bit, Still Enterprise Morning. Please don't go anywhere.